Hello. My name's Elder, and welcome back to the Open Debate. So today, we're going to be talking about an interesting topic, something that has recently come up in the news. It just actually popped up on my news feed, so I looked into it, and I thought that it was interesting enough to bring up to the crowd, to the community here at the Open Debate. If you're tuning in the morning, the afternoon, the evening, we welcome you. Thank you for joining this live event. So, what are we talking about? Well, apparently there were a group of students who fed bodily fluids to their teacher as a prank. I actually hadn't heard of this story. Apparently it happened about 3 months ago, and I'll play a clip just going over a brief introduction of the backstory around what I'm talking about, and then we'll go from there so you have a little bit more context to this story.
Delaware County Sheriff's Office says several Olentangy Heights Middle School students are under investigation. The reason? Allegedly serving a handful of teachers food that contained bodily fluids. NBC4's Tyler Beckham is live now just down the road from the school. He joins us now with the gruesome details. Tyler.
Yeah, it's disturbing, Danielle, isn't it? The Delaware County Sheriff's Office is investigating. A spokesperson tells us that the incident happened Thursday in Global Gourmet class, which is a home ec class. The Sheriff's Office says the students were preparing crepes that they were going to serve to some of the teachers, and that the Sheriff's Office says one of the students actually put urine and a bodily fluid in the food that a handful of the teachers ate. Initially, just one student was questioned, but investigators say they learned that multiple students were actually involved with carrying this out or didn't do anything to stop it. The Sheriff's Office is taking this seriously. One or some of the kids could face felony assault charges. Tonight, the BCI is analyzing what's left of the food and doing DNA testing. Today, the school principal pulled all the students together like 8th grader Mason Lambert and explained what happened and why it was wrong.
It was like some body fluids got into food, and a teacher ate it, and we shouldn't talk about it, and that should never have happened. And yeah, he takes the school and everybody in the school very seriously on safety.
You're looking at some of the ball fields right next to the middle school here. The Sheriff's Office came by and made us move our vehicles when we were in front of the school there. Now, the school wouldn't go on camera to talk about the incident or release any names, but a school spokesperson sent us a statement reading, quote, "The safety and security of our students and staff is of utmost importance. District leadership and local law enforcement are conducting a thorough investigation into this incident, and anyone found in violation of school policies will be held accountable for their actions." More on all of this coming up tonight on NBC4 at 5. Local for you in Powell, Tyler Beckham, NBC4.
All right, Tyler, thank you so much.
So a little bit strange that they couldn't get a statement from the school, but they interviewed a student in grade 8. Hopefully they got permission from his parents. But a little bit of a backstory about what I'm talking about. So this happened about 3 months ago, and thanks for joining us, Underdog Anomaly. And I plan on growing my beard about as big as it can go, maybe down to my shins. But yeah, a little bit of a backstory of what we're talking about here. By bodily fluids, they mean SEAMAN. I'm not sure how much I can say on YouTube. Don't want to get the video demonetized as usual. But even when you see ads up, often I have clips from organizations like this, and they get flagged, and there'll still be ads on the videos, and I can't even control that. But with that being said, I guess if you want to help support the channel, you can always donate through Streamlabs or any of the other links that I have in the description. You can have a message pop up on the screen, and it'll be read out in a little computerized voice. Hey, how's it going there, GBC Central? We got links in the chat below, so if you want to check that out, go ahead. And yeah, so we're going to continue to get into this story. So that's not even really the big thing. So today, this is the story that came out. The 2 teenagers who were caught in this situation were sentenced to 30 days in juvenile detention after admitting to contaminating the teacher's food with semen during a cooking class, right? Pretty crazy. Not much of a prank. I wouldn't call that a prank, but It's quite disgusting and pretty messed up. So I'll read you a little bit of the details. The teens were in grade 8, right? So they went to this weird Olentangy Hyatt's Middle School in Delaware. I don't have my glasses on. Here we go, guys. Thank you there, dear Wonderbar, for the comment on the beard. Students recorded a video on May 16th of them putting semen in teachers' food while in a grade 8th grade global gourmet class. Teachers in the class were judging students' food. The teacher shared that she was instructed to go to the hospital and get tested for STDs and wondered whether she would return back to the classroom, which is a pretty messed up situation. Obviously, the teacher would be pretty messed up over that, especially if it was a woman. One student, now 15, tearfully apologized to the teacher. A second teen, now 14, is said to have admitted to a count of assault on the teacher. Both teens were sentenced to 30 days in juvenile detention by Judge David Hedgemanowesk. Can't say that last name. Hey there. This wasn't far from your place where I was saying man was using a syringe to place spunk in woman's food. He did 6 months and got probation. Wow, that's like, for these types of crimes, you should probably be getting a little, like, I know these kids are young, but they, I don't know, do examples being set really work? That's a question to be asked in the chat. How do you guys feel about that? But 30 days in a juvenile detention center for essentially feeding your teacher semen, I find that pretty messed up, if you ask me. I think that the punishment should be maybe a little bit harsher. Hey, thanks for the sub there. Is that West Tennessee? So, I don't know. I think that the punishment should be a little bit... That's harsh. Not the first jizz the teacher swallowed. Okay, well, come on now. That doesn't mean that she deserves to get it unwillingly, though. We'll continue on the story here. 2 Ohio students have admitted to their involvement in contaminating their teacher's food with bodily fluids after 8 were charged with the crime. So 8 students altogether were charged. 2 have pleaded guilty and now have been sentenced to 30 days. The teens were 8th graders. Yeah, we just read that. The students recorded a video on May 16th of them putting semen in a teacher's food while in an 8th grade global gourmet class. Teachers in the class were judging students' food, right? And so this is a situation where there was going to be bunch of teachers judging food and they all had to make something different, and the kids thought, what would be a good prank that we could pull? Maybe putting, we've seen this before, right? Where have you seen this? The very first thing that comes to mind, American Pie. Okay, but is it American Pie? I think American Pie, with the eclairs, or the donut things. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about, or if I'm just sounding crazy. But yeah, and Felicity Huffman only got 2 weeks, right? It's an interesting situation. Oh, these kids are white too. Does that have anything to do with it? I don't think so. But here's the video. I'll play you the video. Well, actually, I'm not sure if this is just a little bit of whatever they're putting up. I'm just gonna play this video and we'll see what's good. Oh, well, give me just 2 seconds here. My audio seems to be all crazy. There, that should probably fix it.
Social media. Today, the student told...
Very strange. I don't know what's going on.
The judge where he got the idea.
I was on YouTube and I saw a video of a guy.
The incident was recorded by students and posted to social media. Today,
anytime I click any sort of other thing, this video keeps stopping. So we're just going to listen to it, but this is basically what I'm getting into. This is the whole point of the story, so it's crazy that it's messing up. But this is his explanation around why he did what he did, why he decided this would be a good prank to pull.
The incident was recorded by students and posted to social media. Today,
Wow. Okay. One more time, and then that's it. We're playing it straight through, guys.
The incident was recorded by students and posted to social media. Today, the student told a judge where he got the idea.
I was on YouTube and I saw a video of a guy putting semen into food and serving it out. And I said, oh, that would be a funny idea, a funny gag. And so I introduced it to my classmates and they thought it was funny. They laughed. And so we went on with it, and it was the day of the 16th, and I brought the bag of semen to school, and right before we were about to present our food that we were presenting in the class, I put it in the actual food.
The teachers who were victimized.
Okay, so that just goes to show you right there why I titled the video Teens Who Put Semen in Teachers' Food Blame YouTube for the reason that they did this. Now, like, this prank has been around. It's not something that
Had agreed to judge a student.
it's not something that is only. I have never even seen anybody on YouTube doing that. I feel as though a video like that would get taken down so quickly. That's not something that I personally see on YouTube. Yeah, right? Someone says that's the cipher. You say that's a voice of no remorse, right? That's a kid that doesn't care about what he's done. You know, I try not to judge people based on the way that they present themselves sometimes, because you never know how someone's feeling and how they actually conduct themselves under stress and in those types of situations. But I understand where you're coming from and seeing that. But yeah, a bag of semen. Yeah, I see. How long was he working on it? An entire bag? That's a good thought. It's a good question. And that's also a good question. Did he? I don't know. That's gross. Did he taste the food or did he not? So we're gonna keep going. I was on YouTube and I saw a video of a guy putting semen into food, serving it out. The teen, now 15, explains, right? What I wonder, is this going to cause any sort of backlash from YouTube's standpoint, of them being blamed for the cause of this terrible incident? Because this is actually pretty disgusting when you lay it out in the grand scheme of things. Thought it would be a funny gag. This is essentially just what he said. The teacher, traumatized by the ordeal, shared an impact statement in court. And that's going to be the angle that we see coming out, is obviously the victim's point of view. She was traumatized by this young white male. And so let's listen to what she has to say. Because in all honesty, this is a pretty disgusting situation. And for that to happen to somebody, I could fully understand them being traumatized in a sense, not like you're pretty sensitive if nothing happened, especially if nothing happened. She didn't contract any sort of sickness or anything like that. And, as a teacher, you would be much more leery of what you would accept from students in the line of gifts or food, anything in that manner. But, yeah, Slavers is definitely the end of cooking contests at that school. So let's read the teacher's statement, the teacher that was traumatized. I sat there in my principal's office, dumbfounded over the fact that someone would even think of doing this. I had no response, no words for how I was feeling, just sitting in shock. Why did this happen? Why did they choose me? I felt targeted, violated, she said. Some days the feeling of anxiety, worry, and embarrassment would be small, and some days it suffocated me, and I couldn't get off the couch. The teacher shared that she was instructed to go to the hospital and get tested for STDs, and wondered whether that she would return back to the classroom. I already had my dream job, but because of this prank, because of some kids, they're taking it away from me. They made me fall out of love with teaching. I had lost my empathy for kids and the ability to see good in them, she said. The teen, designated a juvenile delinquent, tearfully apologized to the teacher. I just want to say that I'm truly and deeply sorry for what I've done, he said. There's not a day that goes by that I do not regret what I've done. I'm so sorry. It's a 15-year-old kid, and this grown woman is blowing it out of proportion as though this is some sort of traumatizing event where she was actually physically assaulted in the classroom. Like this, the way that she's speaking about it, it was a prank that was not funny, that could have definitely been harmful, that deserves repercussions, but also the way that everybody handles things differently, and so it may be traumatizing to her, but that also goes to show the type of society that we live in and how sensitive we are to such mundane situations. We have life is pretty good. If a prank pulled on a teacher is what's making the news today. But yeah, right. It wasn't a funny prank. I can't say that enough times. It's funny in theory or in a joke if it was a cartoon. Theoretically, it's funny. In practice, in reality, that's not okay. It's just not okay to do. It's like telling a joke. Sometimes telling a joke it's okay. The context of the joke is not based in reality. So, second teen, now 14, is said to have admitted to a count of assault on the teacher. Prosecutors said the teen brought a bag of his semen to the school and gave it to the student for them to mess with the teacher's food. Both teens were sentenced to 30 days in juvenile detention by Judge David Hejmanowski. Judge David Hejmanowski, who is also sentenced the duo to 100 hours of community service along with a psychological assessment. Okay, so reading throughout the article, they have been sentenced to more than just 30 days in a juvenile detention center. They also need to do 100 hours of community service along with a psychological assessment to make sure that they are not crazy, because what type of person in the right mind tries to feed their teacher semen? Right? That's not the way it goes. That's not the way life works. The 15-year-old teen was suspended for 10 days and expelled for another 80 days, while the second teen was suspended for 5 days. The remaining 6 students charged are due in court later in the week, so we'll get more updates if you guys are interested in that sort of in this story. But the suspensions from school and stuff, like, it's kind of strange. I feel like that's sort of an offense where you potentially should be expelled from the school, maybe, and have to go to a different school. Like, it's very, I don't know, it's very strange. That's a pretty big mess up, I think. But it's not like these kids can't be redeemed. They didn't kill anybody. They didn't assault anybody physically. They didn't sexually assault anybody. What they did was disgusting, and the psychological assessment, it's a good thing. Some sort of counseling, I think, would be better than the community service. But what do you guys think? What do you think the punishment should be for this type of crime? Like, it's not a victimless crime. It's a crime. It's plain and simply a crime. No quotations needed. That's the end of the article, guys. That's what they have to say about it right now. The kids are going to juvenile detention for 30 days. Getting 100 hours community service and getting a psychological assessment. Like I said, I think it's pretty disgusting, and I think that the punishment should be different. I think that rehabilitation is the key thing, understanding the root cause of what drove these individuals to do this, and the excuse given in court that they saw a video on YouTube, and that YouTube essentially is to blame for it's like the video game argument. Video games drove me to do this, or YouTube, I saw somebody else do it. What are your parents gonna say, right? All your friends are jumping off a bridge. You're gonna jump off the bridge? Come on now, look what just happened. And clearly, if you saw this video on YouTube, the same situation would be happening to those kids, so it wasn't real. That's what people don't understand as well. Sometimes when they see things online, it's not real. But pretty much, I just want to know what you guys think, how you feel about this story, and if you think that YouTube is to blame, or if you think that YouTube is going to have any sort of response to this story, or there will be any sort of backlash because these children decided to throw an entire platform under the bus. It's just kind of interesting to me to see that sort of excuse being pulled and people just not owning up to their actions. Anyways, yeah, pretty much want to know where you guys are at. I'll throw it out to the community. I wanted to, at the end of this video here today, just give a big shout out and thank everybody that's been helping out and supporting and donating to the channel. You guys have been keeping me going and driving me hard, making sure that I bring you content as fluently as possible. I try to stream every single day. If I don't get to it, I try to do multiple streams the next day, and we're just going to keep this community building and growing and getting bigger. Building a community of people who like to have discussions and actually come together and they aren't afraid to talk about hard issues. So I thank you all for being here. I thank you all for sharing the videos, liking the videos, everything. I thank you for being part of the community. With that being said, passing the question off to you guys. How do you feel? My name's Elder. This has been The Open Debate. Be your own hero, kids.